Hi, we will continue to discuss on how to write an 8051C program to develop a keyboard subroutine. And first, before we proceed, let us review the process of scanning and identifying the keyboard flowchart, and then we'll move on to write the C program. So you know that the keypads are arranged in the rows and columns, and when the key is pressed, if the rows are currently set to 0, then corresponding column should have the value 0. Then a key press is detected. Then in order to detect the key, what do? We set each bit to 0 logic value. One by one we do that, and we read the column. Then if there is any column is 0, that means a corresponding key is detected. Okay. So this is the flow chart that we already discussed. So it is first initially we wait for all the keys to be released, and the next one we read the column, and if there is any key presses deducted, then we wait for the debounce delay. Once this is done, then we go for grounding each bit of a row and find out which key is pressed, and to get the code from the corresponding key code from the lookup table, isn't it? Okay, very good. So now we'll move on to writing a C program. Okay, so what are we going to do? Write a C program to read the keypad and send the result to the serial port. So we have the rows connected to P1.0 to P1.3. Rows are connected as input or output here. Very good. Rows are connected as an input to the microcontroller, isn't it? How about columns? Columns are output from the microcontroller. So we use P1.0 to P1.3 to connect the rows, and P2.03 0 to P2.3 is used to connect the columns. Okay. Then also we send the since we send the result to the serial port, we use the serial port with the baud rate 9600, 8-bit and one stop bit, isn't it? Very good. Okay, now so quickly, if you possible, you can recollect all your C constructs now. First, what we will do, we write a header file statement, that is hash include reg51.h, isn't it? Okay. Then we define a name for the ports here. So we call the port P2 by the name column COL, capital COL. Then similarly, we use speed port P1 for row. Okay, so we call port P2 as call, that is, and P1 as row in caps. Okay. Next, in the program we have written some subroutines. So one of the subroutine is to generate a delay. So for this we have a subroutine by the name ms delay. Okay, and it takes an argument of integer type, unsigned integer type, and it doesn't return a value. Okay, then also for a serial communication transmission, we have another subroutine here, that is serial transmission unsigned character. Okay, so it takes an argument here, not returns a, it not does not return a value. Okay, next, now here we use an array variable. Okay, it's since it's out of the main program, it is actually the global variable now. So of unsigned character array by the name keypad, it has 4 rows and 4 columns. Why do we use this? Very good. It is for representing the key numbers, isn't it? Okay. So we write 0, 1, 2, 3 key numbers through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, and F. So all the 16 characters are arranged here in the forms of rows and column. Got it? Very good. Now we start with the main program, isn't it? So the program execution is going to start from here actually. Okay, these are all only the initializations. The program execution, it starts from here, void main. Okay, the void main, we assign, we define two variables here. Okay, column location and a row location. Okay, let's see the use of it in the subsequent discussions. So unsigned character, column location and a row location. So here we, since we are using serial communication, then we need to do some preparations related to serial communications as well. So we use TMOD register in mode 1 and sorry, timer 1 in mode 2, timer 1 in mode 2 operation. Then we assign th1 with the value -3 in order to generate a baud rate. Then serial communication in mode 1, and to enable the serial communication we use the value 50. So for this now you can refer to your previous serial communication details. And then we start the timer, isn't it? And once the timer is started, the baud rate is getting generated here. Okay. Now, next, the call. What is call? Call is nothing but a, already we have defined here. It's port P2. Call is nothing but a port P2. So, P2 is assigned with the value FF. Why it is assigned with the value FF? Because we configure this to be an what? Output. Isn't it? Okay. So, initially all the columns are set to the value FF. Okay. Then we use the while one statement here. In while one statement, hmm, in while one, we use a do while statements here. So do, uh, first it sets all the rows to the zero value, all the bits of the rows to the zero value. Then we read the column. We read the column using the column location variable. Okay. So as you set the zero value of the for the rows, and when you read the column value and temporarily store it in the column location, what should be the value? Why do we do this? We are doing this for waiting to release all the previously pressed keys, isn't it? So then what should be the column value? The column value should be supposed to be 111, isn't it? Okay. So what do we do? First we mask it. This is a logical AND operation, isn't it? So my using the AND operation, we mask it. Then we get the column value, isn't it? So now you see that. So while collection is not equal to, the column location is not equal to 0x0f, you stay here, isn't it? You stay here. Again, you do and you continue to check it, isn't it? When it is equal, then that means the previous key has been released, then we will come out, isn't it? We will come out. After that, what is the next step? Next, when you come for next step, no, it mean to say that your all keys are released, and some key presses we are going to direct, isn't it? Okay. So what do? We use a nested loop here, nested do while. So first let us see this do for inner do while. So inner do while, what it does, now it takes some delay. So by, as we have seen with the prototype, ms delay, it takes an inside unsigned integer value, and that we pass it here as 20, isn't it? So for 20, it's going to generate some delay. That's a 20 millisecond actually. So 20 millisecond delay will be generated with the help of this statement. Okay. Then again we read the column. Again we read the column using COL, that is the port P2. So using the define function, we are reading the column, and this column read value will be loaded into this local variable, that is column location, isn't it? So why do we do this? Since we have detected the key press, isn't it? So again, what do? We mask the lower uh, bits of the column, and we proceed further to get only the four bits, lower four bits. Then what do? We have to check, isn't it, whether the columns are equal to F, isn't it? When the columns are equal to F means what? 0F means very good. Keys are not pressed, isn't it? So then what you have to do? You have to do it again. Again, have to do it for a delay. Then you read the column. If there is a key press, then we will continue to do it, isn't it? Okay. If it is not equal, if it is not equal, isn't it? That means there is a key press detected, isn't it? Then again we give a delay, isn't it? This delay is a debounce delay. This delay is a debounce delay. Debounce delay of 20 milliseconds is being used here. Okay, again we read the column. As we read the column, we store it here. Then again we mask the bits, isn't it? After masking the bits, now suppose what is supposed to be the column value? It's supposed to be a different one. It should not be one. So it should be a different one. Let us check it out with the while statement. And if it is not, if it is equal, that means still the key press is not there. Then it will go on continue. It will go on continue from the beginning. If it is equal, then it will come out of the while loop. Okay, fine. So as it comes out of the while loop, isn't it? Now we have some more statements to be repeated. hmm? To be repeated. So what we are going to repeat now? So now, in order to the next step is to detect with the key or to identify in which row the key is pressed. In okay, in which row the key press belongs to. Okay. So for that, what do we do? Um First we ground the first bit of the row, first bit of the row, so that's why it's called fe. So fe is assigned here to the row. Then again we read the column. As we read the column, again we are masking it. Once you masked it, then if there is any key press in that particular uh, key of the row, isn't it, keys in that particular uh, row, then the column should have the value FE, isn't it? Column should have the value FE. That means 0E it must have, isn't it? Okay. So if it is that means if it is not equal, that means if it is FE, then the row location we say that when confidently it is the zeroth row. It's a zeroth row. Then we come out of this conditional statements, and next what do we do? Okay. Next what do we do? Next we set it to FD. Next we set it to FD. When, in what case? When it is equal. When the column is equal to 0x0f, then we go for the next setting, row of next row bit to 0. Next row bit to 0. Fine. Again we read the column, isn't it? So after reading the column, we are masking the bits. So after masking the bits, again we are checking it now, isn't it? If it is not equal, it should not be, it should not be equal actually. If it is not equal, isn't it? Then what we'll do? We say that no, row location is now it is one. We say that. Okay, then we break it, isn't it? So then, if it is equal, that means that row is also not helped. Okay, next say we set the next bit of the row to 0, isn't it? Then we read the column, again masking the bits. After masking the bits, we check for the condition, isn't it? After checking the condition, if it is not equal, isn't it, not equal, then we say that the row location, that the row is going to be 2. If it is equal, then we will go for the next row. At this time, the row, some key must have been pressed, because we are doing now, we are passing from here to here just because the key press have not been detected in any of the rows. But So we have followed this step from the previous steps only. From the previous steps only. Then there must be a key press at least in this row. So we read the column again. Then we mask the bits. After masking the bits, we find that the we check the condition and we say that it is the row location is 3. The row location is 3. Okay. Then we break it out. Understand? Okay. The loop is broken here with a break statement, while loop. Okay. Next, what do we do? If column location, now first you are setting it, isn't it? If column location is, when you read the column location, if column location is 0x0e, 0x0e, that means what? Then we have to now identify the key. Identify the key. Where is the keypad? So you see that for this, no, we have your user function here. The function is serial transmission. Serial transmission. Within bracket, it receives an unsigned character. It receives an unsigned character, isn't it? So this unsigned character is picked from the keypad array. From the keypad array. So what are we going to pass here? We are going to pass the row location and the value under the column value 0. Under column value 0. Okay. Now row location. If the column is 0, 0x 0e, isn't it? The row location we will get it from the this part. Okay. Anyone may be the row location, isn't it? Then where do we have, where is the keypad where is the keypad array? In the beginning we had a keypad array, isn't it? So here, where is the keypad array? Here we have the keypad array. So when you pass the corresponding integer values for the array indexes for the rows and columns, isn't it? So now what will happen? Now we are passing a row value, isn't it? Then row value and the value 0 here. Then which key will come out? The key will be 0, isn't it? So like that the values will be taken from here and it will come and give it here. Then if this is not the case, else if, then we check with the column value. If the column is D, the column is D, then what do we do? Then we check, we send the row location. We get the row location from the previous setups, isn't it? Okay, now we send the value 1. Then what value will come out? 1 will come out, isn't it? So similarly, we check for every column values and with corresponding row locations. Then we'll able to access the required key, isn't it? So else, then we'll go for the last one, isn't it? So the last one will give us the keys from the third row. Keys from the third row. Then we have used some functions, right? So the functions are defined outside the main functions. Outside the main functions. What are the functions? We have serial communication transmission. This is well known to you. We are passing some integer value into it, and that value will be taken into SBUF, isn't it? So what is that here we are going to pass? So from here, now we are picking up the keyword key number from the array, and the same number it is passed here. Okay, so same number is passed here. So from here we will now pass a value into this. From here we'll pass a value into this. So whatever the value comes in, that will be passed here. That will be then input for the SBUF, isn't it? So SBUF is passed here with the value. Then we wait for the transmit flag to raise set to high. So if it is set to high, then we clear it for the next operation. And also um, that is the end of this subroutine. Then one more subroutine we have used. What is the subroutine? Yes, very good. That is a delay generation subroutine. In a delay generation subroutine, we have named the subroutine as MS a delay, and it takes a value of integer data type, and that we take it here. And based on, we used two more local variable here, x and y, and based on the value, the delay will be generated. Actually, if it is uh, 1, this will generate a delay of 1 millisecond, and if we are passing 20, so it will generate a delay of 20 millisecond, which is basically used for a debounce operation. To nullify the debounce time period, we need at least of 20 millisecond. Okay. Hope you understood this program. Thanks for watching.